Hello students, till now we have studied the basic concept of reconstruction, sacrifice ratio and gaining ratio. In this video lecture, I am going to start with a new topic, that is revaluation account. But before starting with this topic, I would like to clarify the weightage of this chapter in board exam, that is of 5 marks, 1 mark MCQ, 1 mark for answer in 1 or 2 sentences and 3 marks practical sum will be asked in section C. On the whole, no bigger sums are to be asked from this chapter. But considering the importance of this topic from the point of view of the consecutive chapters, that is admission and retirement or death of partner, we are moving on to the next topic, that is revaluation account. So come on, let's start with it. First of all, let us understand meaning of revaluation account. Recorded assets and liabilities are shown at new value, which is called revaluation of assets and liabilities. Students, because of reconstruction of partnership, assets and liabilities are shown at new value. To record the assets and liabilities at new value, revaluation account is prepared. Recorded assets and liabilities may be higher or lesser than its actual or real value. It may be possible that with the passage of time, the price of fixed assets may go up. Suppose for example, machinery, previously it was purchased at a price of rupees 1 lakh and after 5 years with the passage of time the value of machinery is increased to rupees 5 lakh. So that increased value of asset is recorded in the revaluation account. Just as for assets, similarly it may be possible that liabilities may also increase or decrease, or the liabilities remain unrecorded. That increase or decrease in liability is also recorded in the revaluation account. Following rules should be remembered while preparing revaluation account. Students, I would like to make it clarify that revaluation account is also known as profit and loss adjustment account. The following are the rules. The first one, if there is increase in assets or receivable, then it is called profit. If there is decrease in assets or receivable, then it is called loss. If there is increase, then it is called profit. Decrease, then it is called loss. If there is increase in liabilities or provisions, then it is called loss. If there is decrease in liabilities or provision, then it is called profit. Students, if you remember the assets situation, then easily you can understand the liability. Remember the concept of liability as it is contradictory to assets. If unrecorded assets are brought to books, then it is called profit. If unrecorded liabilities are brought to books, then it is loss. Unrecorded assets means those assets which are not recorded in the books of accounts and now they are to be recorded in the books of accounts. Then it increases the assets due to which the profit occurs. In the similar way, if unrecorded liabilities are brought to books, it means the liabilities which were previously not recorded and now they are to be recorded in the books of accounts, then it increases the loss. From the above points, it is clear that if there is a profit, if profit arises, then revaluation account is credited, and if loss arises, then revaluation account is debited. Again, one more important point, students, you all are well aware that assets is always having a debit balance. If the assets value increases, then assets account will be debited and revaluation account will be credited. Opposite to it, if there is decrease in assets, it means assets value decreases, then assets account will be credited and revaluation account will be debited. Opposite to that, if there is increase in liabilities, you are knowing very well that liabilities balance is always credit. If there is increase in liability, the liabilities account will be credited and revaluation account will be debited. If there is decrease in liabilities, means liabilities account will be debited and revaluation account will be credited. If unrecorded assets are brought to books, then it is profit. Unrecorded assets means it is increase in assets. Due to increase in assets, assets account will be debited and revaluation account will be credited as profit is over here. If unrecorded liabilities are brought to books, if unrecorded liabilities means liabilities will increase because of recording of this unrecorded liabilities, due to which the liability account will be credited and revaluation account will be debited as loss will occur over here. Now, let us understand the journal entries at the time of revaluation of assets and liabilities. Number one, when there is an increase in the value of assets. Earlier we have discussed in the points in the rules that if there is an increase in the value of assets, then respective assets account would be debited and revaluation account will be credited. As because of increase in value of asset, profit will arise and profit will always be recorded on the credit side of revaluation account. The second entry, when there is decrease in the value of assets. When there is a decrease in value of assets means assets account will be credited and revaluation account will be debited, because due to decrease in value of assets loss will arise, so loss will always be recorded on the debit side of revaluation account. So over here the entry is revaluation account debit to respective assets account credit. The third entry, when there is a provision for doubtful debt or discount reserve etc. on debtor, then entry would be revaluation account debit to bad debt reserve account credit to discount reserve on debtor's account credit. Debtors is an asset. Due to provision for doubtful debts or discount reserve, debtor's value will decrease. Due to decrease in the value of asset, it will create loss. So loss will always be recorded on the debit side of revaluation account and assets value will decrease. So it will be concerned asset will be credited. Now the fourth entry, if there is an unrecorded assets, accrued income or prepaid expenses, then you are very well aware about the concept of accrued income or prepaid expense that we had already discussed in standard 11th. Due to this unrecorded assets, if they are recorded, then assets value increases and profit arises to the firm. So revaluation account will be credited and concerned assets will be recorded on the debit side. So the entry would be respective assets account to debit, accrued income account to debit, prepaid expense account to debit to revaluation account credit. Fifth entry, if there is an increase in amount of liability, then revaluation account to debit to respective liability account credit. You are knowing very well that liability is always having a credit balance. If there is an increase in liability, then liability account will be credited, and because of increase in liability, loss will occur to the firm. So revaluation account will be debited, as revaluation account loss will always be recorded on the debit side of revaluation account. Next, sixth entry, if there is a decrease in amount of liability, then respective liability account debit to revaluation account credit. As there is an increase, in the same way if there is a decrease in liability, liability account will be debited because liability is having a credit balance. If there is a decrease, then opposite effect, it means debit the respective liability account, and due to decrease in liability, profit will occur to the firm, so revaluation account will be credited. Seventh entry, when an entry made for unrecorded liability in the books, then revaluation account debit to outstanding liability account credit. Previously that liability was not recorded. Now due to recording of that liability, liability increases. Due to increase in liability, loss will occur to the firm, so revaluation account will be debited and concerned liability account will be credited. Last but not the least entry, very important entry of the revaluation account, that is when revaluation account is closed, then if profit of revaluation account, if by closing the revaluation account total of credit side is more compared to debit side, then the difference will come on the debit side and it will be called as profit of revaluation account. The profit of revaluation account will be transferred to the partner's capital or current account in their old profit sharing ratio. The entry would be revaluation account debit to partner's capital or current account credit. Being due to revaluation, profit is distributed between partners in the ratio of profit and loss that will always be specified in the question. In the same way, if there is loss of revaluation account, then the opposite entry would be, that is partners capital or current account debit to revaluation account credit. The difference would come on the credit side, in which the total of debit side would be bigger compared to the credit side. So the difference would come on the credit side. So the entry would be partners capital or current account debit to revaluation account credit. Now we shall learn the specimen of revaluation account. Specimen of revaluation account is just the posting of the journal entries that we had learned just now. You have already studied ledger and posting chapter in standard 11th. Similar to that only, from the journal entries you have to do the posting in revaluation account. Note is over here. The figure in the bracket shows number or index of journal entries. Suppose here number 1 is written in bracket. It means whatever the journal entry, first journal entry, the posting of it is done over here. What was the first journal entry? That is increase in assets value. If there is increase in assets value, then assets account would be debited and revaluation account would be credited. So on the revaluation account, it is written on the credit side by assets account. You are knowing very well, we have to write the name of the opposite party. The opposite party over here, that is assets account. The second entry, that is decrease in assets value. Due to decrease in assets value, revaluation account will be debited because loss will occur to the firm. So the entry would be revaluation account debit to assets account credit. Number 3, that is to bad debt reserve account credit to discount reserve on debtors account. To bad debt reserve account and to discount reserve on debtors. Because of this, the debtors value has been decreased. Due to decrease in the value of debtors, revaluation account will be debited as loss will occur to the firm due to decrease in value of assets. Fourth entry, that is by assets account, unrecorded assets. Previously the asset was not recorded, and now due to recording of that asset value increases. Due to increase in the value of assets, profit occurs to the firm, and so it will be recorded on the credit side of revaluation account. Fifth entry, that is to liabilities, increase in liabilities. Liabilities always have a credit balance. If the liabilities increase, then concerned liability account will be credited and loss will occur to the firm due to increase in liability, and loss will always be recorded on the debit side of revaluation account. Now the next entry, that is sixth entry, decrease in value of liability. Suppose liability, if the same as increase in liability, if there is decrease in value of liability, due to decrease the profit occurs to the firm, so it will be recorded on the credit side of revaluation account, that is by liability account. Now the next entry, that is seventh entry, to outstanding liability, increase in liability value, because of which increase in liability value, due to increase the loss occurs to the firm, so revaluation account will be debited. Now the last entry, that is if there is a profit when it occurs, if the total of credit side is more compared to debit side, then the difference will come on debit side, and that is considered as the profit that will be transferred to partners capital account. Our last journal entry, that was revaluation account debit to partners capital account credit. Similarly, if there is a loss for the firm, then total of debit side would be more compared to credit side, and difference would come on credit side, and the journal entry for it, that would be partners capital account debit to revaluation account credit. Based on the above explanation of revaluation account, journal entries and format of revaluation account, let us understand that concept with a practical example. I have chosen over here especially illustration number 11, as it covers maximum adjustments. You have to pass necessary journal entries, prepare revaluation account, and also balance sheet at the end of the year. So all the topics are covered in this illustration. So let's read the question first of all. From the following information, pass necessary journal entries and prepare a revaluation account and a balance sheet after the effect of revaluation in the books of Rajesh and Jagdish. There are two partners, Rajesh and Jagdish, and we have to prepare over here the journal entries, revaluation account, and balance sheet. Rajesh and Jagdish are the partners sharing profit and loss in the ratio of 3:2. It means the old ratio is 3:2. Balance sheet of the firm as on 31st March 2017 is as below. Capital of both the partners are given: general reserve, P&L account, and creditors. General reserve and P&L account balance is given credit balance, so it is accumulated profit. If it P&L account is given on the asset side, then it is debit balance, then it would be accumulated loss. Accumulated profit or accumulated recorded loss will be distributed amongst the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Your general reserve and P&L account will be distributed amongst the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. Last, that is creditors. Now moving on to asset side, land and building 1 lakh, machinery 80,000, furniture 20,000, investment market value rupees 25,000, and outer column it is given 30,000, debtors that is 60,000 minus BDR 3,000, outer column 57,000, stock 23,000, cash balance 10,000. Students, if you want, you can take a screenshot of this question, because based on this question only you will be able to easily understand the solution of it. Now the necessary adjustments are given to you. The first adjustment, land and building value is to be increased by 20%. Land and building over here, that is 1 lakh. It is increased by 20%. So 20% of 1 lakh, it would be 20,000. So because of that increase in assets takes place, so entry would be land and building account debit to revaluation account credit, because profit will arise over here. Next adjustment, the value of machinery and furniture is to be decreased by 20%. Machinery is 80,000, 20% of 80,000, that would come to 16,000, and 20% of 20,000, that would come to 4,000. So total 16,000 plus 4,000, it would come to 20,000. Decrease in assets, so revaluation account will be debited because loss will occur. So revaluation account debit to machinery account credit to furniture account credit. Next, third adjustment, that is now bad debt reserve is not required. It means previously your 3,000 was shown. Now in the new balance sheet we have to show 60,000. 3,000 we don't have to subtract. So bad debt reserve, due to which the assets value was getting reduced. Now assets value is to be increased. So it will create profit for the firm, and profit will always be recorded on the credit side of revaluation account. So the entry would be bad debt reserve account debit to revaluation account credit. Next, fourth adjustment, rupees 3,000 repairing expense is required in stock. Value of stock is given to you 23,000. Repairing expense, that is 3,000. So because of repairing expense, assets value will decrease. Due to decrease in value of assets, loss will occur to the firm. So revaluation account will be debited and stock account will be credited. Fifth adjustment, an amount of rupees 5,000 among creditors is now not to be paid, which is to be recorded. Creditors as given in the balance sheet, that is 95,000. Amount of 5,000 is now not to be paid. It means liability has been reduced by rupees 5,000. Due to decrease in liability, profit will occur to the firm, and profit will always be recorded on the credit side of revaluation account. Sixth adjustment, outstanding expense rupees 6,000 and income receivable rupees 8,000. Outstanding expense, due to which the liability will increase. If the liability increases, then loss will occur to the firm, so it will be recorded on the debit side of revaluation account. Entry would be revaluation account debit to outstanding expense account credit. And income receivable rupees 8,000. So in future our profit would increase due to income receivable. So due to increase in profit, revaluation account will be credited and income receivable account, that would be debited. Last adjustment, that is investment, is to be shown at market value. Investment value over here, that is given to you. Investment value over here is given to you, that is 30,000 book value, and market value is 25,000. In the new balance sheet you have to show investment at market value. It means decreased value compared to the book value. So decrease in asset by rupees 5,000. Due to decrease in asset, loss will occur to the firm, so it will be recorded on the debit side of revaluation account. So the journal entry would be revaluation account debit to investment account credit. After understanding the question, let us move on to its solution. First of all, we are writing the journal entries in the books of Rajesh and Jagdish firm. The first entry, that is land and building account debit to revaluation account credit. We had already discussed that increase in the value of land and building by 20%. So 1 lakh 20%, it would come to 20,000. Increase is there, so profit will occur. So revaluation account will be credited and land and building account will be debited. Second entry, that is revaluation account debit debit to machinery account credit to furniture account credit. Machinery and furniture value are decreased by 20%. It was 80,000 value of machinery, 20% of 80,000, that would come to 16,000, and furniture 20,000, 20% of 20,000, that would come to 4,000. Due to decrease in assets, revaluation account will be debited as loss will occur to the firm, and decrease in assets, so concerned asset will be recorded, will be in the credit side. Next, third entry, that is bad debt reserve account debit to revaluation account credit. Being the bad debt reserve is not required. Previously the debtors was 60,000 and from that 3,000 bad debt reserve was subtracted. Now that bad debt reserve is not to be maintained. Due to bad debt reserve not to be maintained, assets value increases. Due to increase in the value of assets, profit will occur to the firm. So that increase in profit will be recorded on the credit side of revaluation account. So the journal entry would be bad debt reserve account debit to revaluation account credit. Now the fourth entry is revaluation account debit to stock account credit rupees 3,000. Being the repairing expense for stock is recorded. We have already seen in the adjustment that repairing expense for stock was rupees 3,000. Due to repairing expense, value of stock is reduced. Due to reduction in the value of stock, revaluation account will be debited as loss will occur to the firm, and stock value is decreased, so stock account will be credited. Next, fifth journal entry, creditors account debit to revaluation account credit by rupees 5,000. Being the amount of rupees 5,000 is not payable to creditors recorded. Previously the creditors were 95,000 in the balance sheet. You can refer the question. Out of that, 5,000 value of creditors is not to be paid. So the value of liability has been reduced. Due to reduction in the value of liabilities, profit will occur to the firm. So revaluation account will be credited and creditors account will be debited. Next entry, revaluation account debit to outstanding expense account credit. Outstanding expense is one kind of liability that we have to pay in future. So because of that, the liability increases. Due to increase in liability, loss will occur to the firm, and loss will always be recorded on the debit side of revaluation account. So the journal entry would be revaluation account debit to outstanding expense account credit by rupees 6,000. Seventh entry, income receivable account debit to revaluation account credit. Income receivable means in future we are going to receive the income, so it would be profit for the firm. Due to increase in the profit, revaluation account will be credited and income receivable account will be debited. Eighth journal entry, that is revaluation account debit to investment account credit by rupees 5,000. You can refer the question that book value of the investment, that was rupees 30,000, and market value in bracket it was given 25,000. We have to reduce the value of investment at its market value as it was given in the adjustment. So the value has been reduced by rupees 5,000. Due to decrease in the value of investment, loss will occur to the firm. So revaluation account will be debited and investment account will be credited. Next journal entry, general reserve account debit to Rajesh capital account credit to Jagdish capital account credit. I had already explained while explaining you the question, that is general reserve is to be distributed amongst the partners in their old profit sharing ratio. I had also told that old profit sharing ratio of Rajesh and Jagdish is 3:2. So 10,000 is distributed in the ratio of 3:2, that will come to 6,000 and 4,000. Being the general reserve distributed between existing partners in their old profit sharing ratio. 10th journal entry, profit and loss account debit to Rajesh capital account to Jagdish capital account. Being the credit balance of profit and loss, credit balance means profit, or when the credit side total is more than the debit side, then it is profit. So P&L account debit to partners capital account, that is Rajesh and Jagdish capital account credit. 15,000 is to be distributed in the ratio of 3:2, it would come to 9,000 and 6,000. Last entry, revaluation account debit to Rajesh capital account credit to Jagdish capital account credit. Being the profit on revaluation is distributed between the existing partners in their old profit sharing ratio. It means the profit of the revaluation account is distributed between the partners in their old profit sharing ratio, that is 3:2. Just as in the specimen of revaluation account, we had already studied that it is just the posting of the journal entries that we had already studied previously. Over here also in this question, we are just doing the posting of the journal entries studied before. On the credit side, profit because of which the profit occurs, so all the kind of profit will be recorded on the credit side of revaluation account, and if the loss occurs to the firm, then it will be recorded on the debit side of revaluation account. Over here, land and building value has been increased, so it is recorded on the revaluation account credit side. Bad debt reserve was reduced, so it is recorded on the credit side. Creditors, that is decreased, liability is decreased, so it is profit for the firm, so it is recorded on the credit side. Income receivable, so it would be gain or profit for the firm, so it is recorded on the credit side of revaluation account. You can see on the debit side, that is machinery account. Machinery account is debited over here because loss is incurred, because of which the value has been decreased of machinery. Next, furniture, there is also decrease in the value of furniture by rupees 4,000, so loss occurred to the firm, so it is recorded on the debit side of revaluation account. Next, stock account, repairing expense occurred, because of which stock value has been decreased by rupees 3,000, due to which loss has occurred to the firm. Outstanding expense, due to which liability has been increased, due to increase in liability loss has been occurred to the firm, so again it is recorded on the debit side of revaluation account. And investment value has also been decreased. Decrease in value of asset means loss to the firm, so again it is recorded on the debit side of revaluation account. Now you can see the total over here. Credit side is more, that is 36,000. Both the side we have done the total, that is 36,000, and the difference came on the debit side, that is 2,000. So when the credit balance, when there is credit balance, it means total of credit side is more compared to debit side, and if difference comes on debit side, it is called profit, and the profit will be distributed amongst the partner in their old profit sharing ratio. Here 2,000 is distributed in the ratio of 3:2, that is 1,200 and 800. Now the last part of the sum is the balance sheet after revaluation. You are knowing the format of balance sheet, that is liabilities amount rupees, assets amount rupees. First of all, liabilities, first entry, that would be capital account. You can make separate capital account also of Rajesh and Jagdish. Here there are very few entries, so I have captured or I have included in the liability side of the balance sheet. Here you can see capital account of Rajesh, that is 1,40,000 plus general reserve, that is 6,000, P&L account, that is 9,000, and revaluation profit that has been transferred from the revaluation account. The total of all this, that would come to 1,56,200. Similarly for Jagdish, capital, that was 60,000, general reserve 4,000, P&L account distribution, that was 6,000, revaluation profit share that came from revaluation account, that is 800. Total of it, that would come to 70,800. Creditors has been reduced. See, previously in the question, the balance sheet, the amount of creditors that was given to you, that was 95,000. Now here the reduced value, that is 90,000 by deducting 5,000. Outstanding expense, liability has been increased by rupees 6,000. Land and building over here, see 1 lakh was the value which was shown in the question to you. Now increased by 20%, so 20,000 plus you have to do and show in the outer column, that is 1,20,000. Machinery, there was decrease, so decrease by 20%. You have to mention, you cannot write directly 64,000. You have to mention over here the increase or decrease in value of concerned asset. 80,000 minus decrease 16,000, so outer column you will write 64,000. Furniture also decreased by 20%, so 4,000 subtract, outer column 16,000. Investment market value, previously 30,000, now the reduced value, that is market value 25,000. It means the change in the value of assets and liabilities have to be recorded in the new balance sheet after revaluation. Debtors, previously it was recorded 57,000 after subtracting BDR. Now over here we have to write 60,000 because now BDR is not to be maintained. Stock, that was 23,000 minus decrease due to repairing expense 3,000, and outer column 20,000. Cash balance as it is 10,000. Income receivable, that is 8,000. The total of both the sides should get tallied. Students, it takes nearly 15 to 20 minutes to complete this entire sum. I hope you all have understood this entire sum, because revaluation account topic is very important for the next consecutive chapters, that is chapter 5 and chapter 6, that is admission and retirement or death of partner. If required, thoroughly revise this sum again and again and do practice it. Till then, goodbye, take care.